There is one copy in the back, and I'm gonna show you guys how to fold and staple them. And the reason I did most of them for you guys is because I have one bone folder and one long arm stapler. So I will use Cyrus's as my example. So it's going to come around to you guys. This is a bone folder. It's used to get really sharp, crisp edges when you fold. So this is the easiest part of making comics and zines. You're going to fold your zine in half like this. And then when you get the bone folder, you're just going to run it down the side, applying pressure. That's going to give you a really nice, crisp fold. And then, this is a long arm stapler. It should be set to 5.5, so you might want to readjust it when it comes to you. It's old. It has stapled thousands of minis by now, so it gets a little bit slippery. You want to align it on the spine, and then do 2 staples going down the spine like that. And if you guys don't mind,
You've already done it?
yeah, I did all but one.
Oh, okay.
Just for time constraints, because I only have one bone folder and one stapler. And then when you're finished, if you guys wouldn't mind coming up and putting your minis up here in the spinner rack, so I can get like a nice Instagram-worthy photo. Hand it into me. And I'm just gonna like fiddle around. Hey, good evening.
Yeah.
Oh, you're leaving? Yeah.
Sir, this is for you too.
I got it.
Have one for you too.
Oh, thank you.
One for you, and that's, and you can have 2 for yours.
Oh, thank you. I found one of the drawings in my book, so I got it back for you guys.
Yes, thank you.
No problem.
Yesterday he emailed it late. Did
Yes.
you get it?
I did, yes. It's actually right here in the front.
Okay.
I have his all finished.
Looks like you said.
Yes.
Okay, so they're ready to go.
Yes, put him in.
I saw it, but it was late. Because he was trying to finish it.
Yeah.
And just send it.
Sure. Well, that's why I emailed to ask him. I just wanted me to use the graphite ones.
But I know you told us Monday, Tuesday.
No,
But it was already for me.
No.
So you finish yours?
yes.
I can bring back.
Looks nice.
That's better, yeah.
Yours looks nice too.
Oh, wow. way over there. Oh, well.
Do you want to do it again?
I'm just gonna leave it. It's okay. Because I'm gonna stay home.
I like the color.
Thank you.
Oh, are y'all done with those? Would you mind if I take all but one?
I'm sure.
Then I put them up in the rack. Thank you. Thank you.
You must be exhausted.
Yeah. I think Kimberly said she might not be able to make it, so I'll go ahead and put hers out.
Except the heat coming out again.
Do you have any of the nails or brushes? Did you have any of those back?
I think so.
Okay.
But I give you a book.
Yes, you did last time.
You
think so?
No, it was two which I returned.
It was what?
It was two which I returned last.
Becky, you can go and pull multiple pages at once, right?
Yeah, you should be able to get through the whole thing at one time. Okay, so I have most of your names assembled, but I have a token one that you can assemble yourself. And then once I get all those, I'll ask you to put the stuff I owe and back to the front for me. And I think it's only their something. Thank you so much. Ah! Take pictures of the materials.
You're stuck, I'll step on everyone. She's stuck, well, I guess you can put it together if you want to. Just put it up there. Gotta go around.
I can take them. So what you're gonna do on this one is you're just gonna fold it in half, and then you're gonna run the bone folder down along its side, applying a fair bit of pressure, because you wanna get a nice crisp fold. Then you're just going to line it up, and this should be set to 5.5, but you wanna line it up against the spine and get it to it. I wish I thought to bring some music, because this is a celebration. I was like trying to wait until everybody got in.
We've all got our our phones.
We could all blast different music. A
I could
personal
take a
party.
turn with a song.
So I brought donuts, as promised, and we have 2 dozen plain glaze and 1 dozen chocolate glaze. Ah, thank you.
I almost
Yeah,
brought
but
one, and I thought, oh no, I
Be sparing, obviously, there's not a lot of it there.
It's sticky on the top. Thank you. Okay, so it's 6 or past 6, so I'm gonna go ahead and start. This is a very stripped down version of my convention table. So what my life as a comic artist comprises of like 2 main things, right? I draw the comics and then I sell the comics. I've done work with publishers, I've done work with anthologies, but for the most part, I'm self-employed, I work from home, and for the most part, I spend my time working on this Kidlit comic I've been working on, 7-inch Kara. I'm so close to being finished with volume 2 and kickstarting that. The other half of my life is going to shows and talking to people about comics and selling my comics. Either I'm selling them to editors, where I'm like pitching comic ideas I have to them, or I'm selling them directly to just normal people who come up to my table and they're like, oh, that's cool. I see you have a mini comic that has like a bunch of the same anime characters I like in it. I'll take that. Or, that's cool. I really like magical girls. I'd like a copy of that. Or mermaids. Mermaids are awesome. I'll take a copy of that. So the majority of my comic work is either 12-hour days spent painting on the floor by myself, or being very vivacious and vocal at shows and really having to sell. And that's really quite a dichotomy, because you need to have the stamina and the ability to be by yourself for weeks at a time, working on a project that maybe no one will ever care about, but then you need to like have the confidence to go to shows and be able to engage other people and to talk about your work and actually love your work. And that's where a lot of artists fall short, is they let all of that self-doubt come through like immediately. Like, you wouldn't believe how many shows I've gone to where I'm buying from someone. They don't know I'm an artist. They don't know anything about me. I come up to their table and I really like what I see. And the first words out of their mouths are, oh, it's not very good. Like, for those of you who were with me from the first class where I brought in like a wide variety of minis, you guys saw that I buy things at all sorts of different skill levels. What I'm most interested in as someone who enjoys comics is I'm usually most interested in the ideas and the stories. You could have a gorgeous art style, but if the story isn't there for me, I'm not going to be interested in it. Conversely, you can have kind of a more novice art style, but if you're doing stuff that's about travel or about food or historical, I'm probably going to buy it anyway, because those are all topics I really like, and the value of the story is worth more than the art. So I wanted to tell you guys how incredibly proud I am. I can't say it enough. I am so proud of you guys. All right, I have a master's from SCAD, and I'll tell you, in most of the classes I finished most of my classes, my fellow classmates couldn't finish a stinking 8-page mini. Like, they just couldn't. You guys wouldn't believe how many people who are like, they're paying all this money to go to school to be professional comic people, and they can't even finish an 8-page mini. And all of you guys did that. It doesn't matter how you got there, but you got there. You all finished, and I'm so incredibly proud of you, because that's something that a lot of people who do this full-time can't even do. And I know you guys all have other things going on in your lives, and you manage to complete these books. So I'm really, really proud of you, and I hope you guys are proud of yourselves. And I hope you guys see how good your books look. All printed and assembled. I mean, these are real books. You guys made real books during this 6-week period. And I gotta be straight, there were times where I wasn't sure if we were gonna. I did not know how many we were gonna have finished. And I just kind of kept pushing and hoping you guys would deliver, and y'all did. You guys really took me by surprise and impressed me. I'm so proud of y'all. So, if you did not keep one of your own, of course you're welcome to come take your own, but I would love it if you guys would come up and take one of everybody's minis from the spinner rack, and also take some donuts, and please take some of my minis as well. You can take whichever ones sound interesting to you. And I'm going to give you guys a round of applause because you'll deserve it, because I know how hard making comics, making minis is, and I think you deserve it. So thank you guys so much for your hard work. I'm so proud of y'all.
Thank you for all the resources.
Yes, thank you.
That's right.
Put a lot into this.
You're an excellent teacher.
I tried. This
So
is
what is your next convention you're doing?
okay, so that's up in the air because MTAC just opened
What is that?
Middle Tennessee Anime Convention, and it's in, is it in Franklin? It's like not really in Nashville.
Yeah.
It's in Franklin.
Here.
Yeah, it's a big show for people whose art looks like mine. And their registration just opened, so I need to get my portfolio out to them.
Have you ever done anything in New York?
Yes. We used
They
to
must
do,
have some huge ones.
Oh, they do. We used to do NYCC, and we used to do Mocha Fest. NYCC is more of like an industry show, so there's like a lot of Marvel DC people as well as a lot of editors, and Mocha Fest is more of like art comics and indie comics kind of people. In fact, I got my first freelance gig with Lego because I was at Mocha.
Let you pour your own wine if you want something. Just, as I said, don't take too much.
And y'all are welcome to take as many donuts as you want. I'll take some donuts, and that way y'all can feel not awkward about taking donuts.
I know it's open up.
It does, doesn't it? That's like the... And I was a little late because we were in line at Christmas weekend. Yeah.
You speak about that.
Yeah, this is so cool.
Oh, I'm not
They
good.
got it up.
You're good. And now you guys have the start of a zine collection, if you didn't have one already too.
Yeah, that was okay. My cat was
I've never been.
before
I know cake is supposedly a really good show.
So,
Was it on the flash?
Local one
I bet.
that was at Center on Halsted. It wasn't cake. It was
You get
smaller,
her gift,
but it was
you
a
know?
lot more like
So good.
of this. But then there's also a store there called Quimby's.
I've heard of Quimby's,
Yeah, it's, I think you'd love it.
probably.
It's literally like every local and like most Midwestern zines are for sale in Quimby's. So it's just everything under the sun.
Have you been to Handmade and Bound?
No.
So that's local here, and that's an interesting one in that it's put on by Watkins, but it's open to like anybody who wants to take
Oh,
one.
this one.
And it's for handmade books, but they really want more comic people there too. And it's like really hard to get comic people to table, which is, I think because it's kind of like overcoming like the fear of like rejection, you know, like what if people don't like it? And there's also Gift Horse here, which it used to be Brain Freeze Comics. They buy the old stuff. That's iffy because like they put Kara right behind a bunch of like very adult comics, and I was kind of like, oh. But they seem really nice.
Yeah, just choose whichever one you want. There's like
There's
four switches.
well, there's a couple blockers, but they're all ready. So what's the story behind these?
Because they didn't finish my comic the way I wanted to, I was like,
Well. Joseph, which one should I pick? The cats? This is like
Everyone likes
very
the cats.
perfect.
Yeah, they're cute.
But then there's also these cats, which are, I'm sorry, all of these noises are like, I love it, okay, and I don't know how to
It's all right,
express
no,
it.
just-
I'm gonna go for power kitties.
all right, I can I move here for?
Yeah, of course, let me clear out some space and you can put them on the front. I know how hard you worked on your comic, and I was really impressed that you kind of recognized that it wasn't gonna be ready in time, and you came up with something else. Because that shows that you have like, I was telling Joseph this, a lot of comic artists, we get like stuck in this rut, like we're gonna finish it, and then it doesn't happen. No, that's me too.
Okay.
So I was really proud that like you saw that was happening, and you were able to like reroute your thought. Yeah, that's really hard.
It's just that I was working on it, and I kind of got tired of it, and I was like, this isn't gonna work out. I'm gonna have to do something else. But I was like getting really mad at myself, and then I just like, you know what? Let's not do that. Let's do something else.
Yeah.
Something better, so that yeah, it's on the back burner. I have other stuff to do, but
Yeah, I got it. You made good progress on it too. Alright, so I'm gonna give you guys time to read everybody else's comics, but I kind of want to do a pitch challenge, but I don't have a good reward. Because I've already given the donuts, like y'all already know the donuts are here, so I can't like bribe you. But I would like y'all in the back of your minds to think of a quick, maybe funny pitch for your comics. And if you're comfortable,
right?
yeah, like pretend you're at a show, and I can even come up and be like, oh, so what are you selling, if that helps. I want you to give me your best comic pitch. And I can lead y'all off with mine, if that helps. Because I've only given it like a million times. I think I can run these to the front. Yes.
You are my babies.
I'll fight if anybody takes it. Thank you so much for bringing some wine, Bob. That was really thoughtful of you.
Yeah, sure, I'll take it back if nobody drinks it.
what is this story about?
Oh.
So, high-end from Aldi.
I didn't finish my comic.
Nope.
It's for HP to work on, but those are for free to hand out because I just felt like doing something else.
Are they one of a kind?
Yes, they are.
Are they handmade?
They are.
Is each one unique? You gotta set these.
Oh goodness.
Selling points.
Yeah.
Beautiful
Very
watercolor handmade pen and ink drawings.
Yeah.
Pocket friends.
That's Pocket Friends.
Very nice.
They are gorgeous, by the way. Did you sketch them with pencil first? I just
No.
How dare you? How dare you? How dare you be so good at that? That's not fair.
I mean, if I did sketch it out, I would get mad at it and erase it, so I just, that's how usually most of my drawings go nowadays, so it's like, instead of sketching it out, I do hard on pencil, so that way I can't erase it, and I just go with it. Yeah.
Well, they are gorgeous. And we can each take one, right?
Yeah, go. First dibs. This is surprising.
Yeah, would you? I printed enough so that we can give and see one of these. I got the best one already, I'm sorry. And oh, I'm grabbing a copy of Andre's and that's
Okay, this one.
Cheated.
You didn't sign your name, so it's like.
I know,
yeah. I like the
I didn't sign
Must be
mine either.
didn't sign.
Oh, make sure you, he's a little bit late, so I'm gonna go ahead and put him out. Make sure you grab a copy of Andre's as well.
Some nice drawings there. These are tiny cute. Oh, I love them.
Yes, take donuts, because I'm taking home the ones y'all don't eat, and I will like just go to town on them. I know it's hard to pick. They're all really good.
Can we pick one?
From Source?
Yeah, everybody go.
I can put my name on it.
Yeah.
I made as many as I could because I forgot how many people were in class. So I was like,
I think we technically have 13, but two of them never showed up. So I've been printing page.
Hi, sorry I'm late.
Don't be that, I know. So, everyone's zines are up here, please take one of each.
Okay.
And one of the,
I also have a token one for you to assemble yourself, because I assembled everybody's, so. And there's donuts and wine,
that's one of the,
and we need some music.
get open the windows and pull a car.
That would only get me like a noise violation. I also challenged everybody to think of a short pitch like they were selling their comic at a show. So you have that challenge now too.
Awesome.
Oh, here, you can take this chair, I'm not gonna sit.
yeah.
All right, is anybody ready to give me their pitch, or do you guys need more time? Oh, that's Bob's.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, like an elevator pitch. Convict. Someone's interested, but they're kind of like wandering away already, so you gotta get in, get out. You can do it, I believe in you.
I already know what I need.
Yeah, don't have to steal your nerves.
Yes. I'll do it.
You'll do it? You got it? All right.
Okay,
Do it.
I'm not here to sell my comic, I'm here to ask for money. If you've read mine, you notice this is chapter 1 graphic novel. As an inexperienced comic artist, I need a professional experienced comic artist to collaborate with me to produce the other 10, 12 chapters of this. This can be published. I'm figuring if someone is skilled, effective, they can turn out one illustration for $25, right? Not
No?
color, just.
No?
No, okay. Well, then my pitch has gone from about $5,000 to about $20,000. Anybody want to pony up the contribution to help start a GoFundMe page? All right, $100 an illustration, 100 pages with, say 300 images. That's $30,000.
Yeah.
That's $30,000. Come on.
You wanna know
Come
how
on, let's
most
get out your checkbooks. Come
You
on.
wanna know how most people do that?
Although I was advised to just do it myself, but
That's the
that
cheap
one,
way.
that's the cheap way to do it.
That's the cheap, that's why do you think I learned how to draw? I realized I could never afford an artist. But since it came up though, so going rate and Andre, you can correct me, because like, I feel like we work in different ballparks, and you probably have a higher ceiling than I do. But, going rate for comic pages it really depends. So Oni Press pays $35 per finished comic page. They're an established publisher. But you own all your rights. So you're going to receive a royalty on that. I'm pretty sure they don't pay in advance. So if you don't like how Oni Press is handling your book, you can end your contract and go elsewhere. If you're working with an independent, like let's say a writer contacted me to draw their book, this is where it can get really tricky, because you said 25 per illustration, but you're talking about 25 per finished page, right?
No, just the basic illustration. And then, well, if you're talking about finished page, in which most of the images are colored, yeah, then I guess you
That's
are
gonna be
talking about
very
more like
expensive.
about $100 a page, more than that.
350,
How much?
350,
$350 a page.
if you're looking at watercolor. But the thing about that is, if I'm, let's say it's me, if I'm painting your book, I'm not working on my book, I'm not teaching, I'm not doing shows, I'm not taking freelance work, because I don't have time for that, I'm working on your book. So I need to be able to pay my rent, which is,
So what if I deliver thumbnails for all the images? Does that bring the cost down?
it depends on the artist. Some will give you a reduction, but like the majority of the time isn't spent doing the thumbnails. The majority of the time is spent doing the roughs and doing the pencils and if they're inking, doing the inks, and if they're doing watercolor. Like when I do watercolor, I paint 3 to 4 pages at a time, and lately it's been taking me 5 to 6 days to do that. Now to be fair, I've also been doing stuff for this class, so like half my day is spent prepping for class, and then half my day I can spend watercoloring. I know, it's always sticker shock, but I mean, realistically, you gotta think about how much time, like, when you were doing your pages, how much time were you spending? Yeah,
Over
right?
the course of the class.
Yeah, hey, you made it! I did. Give me 1 second, and then words and brain, not working anymore. It's sticker shock, it's always more time consuming than people think it would be, and a lot of younger artists tend to undercook because they think they can do it faster than they can. But like,
What if it's all black and white?
it would be cheaper, it depends on the artist. So if you were looking for something very simple, like the art style I use in picking and peeling, right, where it's just like black and white with some spot black, that would be about 100. But
Per page?
per page. But theoretically, let's pretend I'm Andre, and I have this gorgeous, elaborate ink work, right? Like, I would definitely charge more than 100 per page. And then whether or not you got the originals would be another point of negotiation. I might cut you a deal if I keep the originals and if I retain 50% rights to the project. But if you want to own the originals and you want reproduction rights exclusively, which means you would be the one who gets all the money when the books are sold. If someone buys the project, you would get that money. It's going to cost a lot more because I'm basically selling 2 years of my life. I'm not saying that to shoot anybody down. It's very expensive. What a lot of people will do is they'll commission an artist to do like the first 10 pages or the first chapter, and then they'll try to pitch that to a company. And even that is tricky because like, okay, let's say we were pitching to Scholastic. Let's say we did a children's book together and we're pitching to Scholastic. Scholastic likes to break up writer-illustrator teams. They like to assign their own writers to projects, they like to assign their own illustrators. So like, in that regard, I think you would almost be better off doing the thumbnails yourself and having written it out, and then pitching that to a company and letting them partner you up with a writer, an illustrator, because then they're gonna handle
Or a publisher.
who pays the illustrator, right? Like, the book I did before, well, I did it in 2016. It was with a woman who, she wrote a children's novel and she wanted some illustrations. And I knew it was going to be self-published, and I knew her ceiling was really low, and she was doing it for her grandchildren, so I underquoted, and I gave her a really good deal, and I ended up presenting it. And then the other problem was like, I was doing her book while I was doing my book while I was doing shows, and she didn't like the timeline, even though I was honest with her up front about like, I'm charging you less because I'm still working. So that's all stuff you have to think about. Amberly, I have your gorgeous dino book up here. Please come up, take one of everyone's comics. And I also have a token copy for you to fold and assemble and staple.
So fun.
I hope I didn't put you on the spot. That wasn't my intention. Yeah, you gotta come staple, you gotta put the time in, you gotta put the work in.
Where do you fold it first, or you just now?
I usually right now on middle, and then get a nice sharp on it,
Staple.
and then
Those aren't sharp. I'm sorry,
line it up.
Yours over there on the rack.
I wish I'd set that up so it was more like a ceremonial rite of passage. You are all now comic artists. But you are. You're all now comic artists. Oh, yeah. It's just easier because it kind of like hits a little groove and you can kind of feel when it's right.
That's a good sound.
That's the comic. This is the easiest and the most monotonous part of the comics.
Thank you.
No problem. Our last one. That is a bone folder. You're going to use, so kind of like press it down and then you're going to apply pressure. Like, basically. Also, you don't have to use a bone folder. You can use a heavy metal butter knife. You can use the handle to do that.
Now that I have it.
Okay, does anybody else have a pitch? Come on, Bob was brave enough to come up and pitch. All right, I'll give you guys my pitch. This is 7-inch Kara. It is a middle grade, beautiful watercolor comic. It's about the adventures of a 7-inch tall little girl making friends with a human girl named Naomi and her pet kitten Pancake.
Nice.
So y'all saw how easy that was. I know you can do it. Or would you rather pitch someone else's comic? Do you guys want to like partner up and pitch someone else's comic? Because sometimes it's easier to pitch other people's stuff than it is yours. Yes, Zach, come on, pitch a comic.
Bonjour. Are you tired of being monolingual or bilingual? Do you want to find out what happens when you press 2 on the phone at the bank? Check out my zine. Learn some basic Spanish.
Nice, I like that pitch. Love the commercial. Love that you enticed us with a little bit of like, ooh, what's that second top? Yeah, really, the bonjour. Good pitch. Come on, somebody. Yes!
All
Do it,
right.
Everly.
All right. I want to do it from right here.
Okay, all right.
You know, because we're all together. So recent scientific discovery has found that dinosaurs had feathers, but in this zine, I present alternative evidence that the dinosaurs were not covered in feathers,
They were just buried in their full feathered regalia. I don't know if you know this about dinosaurs, but they commonly accessorized with hats and tied flies and scarves made of feathers. So this zine will really show you dinosaurs in their true forms.
Excellent pitch. Fantastic. Yes, go Arden.
Okay, my comic routine really is about tips for traveling and maybe some food that I've eaten there. And it has experienced advice, things that have happened to me, really, and some things about how to pack, what not to wear, like shorts, in different places. And not every room at every hotel has a great view. So this kind of makes you feel better about things that happen when you travel and maybe prepare you for your next trip.
Fantastic. Wonderful pitch. Come on. You got this. I believe in you.
Right. So we all know the story of David and Goliath. David fought Goliath, and Goliath was killed by David, right? That's the story that we all heard. But what if that wasn't that story? What if it's the other way around? What if the true underdog was Goliath? I know, crazy, right? The giant is the underdog in the story. That's what was in the scene. What do we do from a different perspective? Goliath was not the underdog in giant we think he is. He's actually the underdog. How did it happen? Here.
Woo! I'm gonna hit all y'all up by the end of class for pitches. But those of you who did it, y'all were very brave. I thought all of those pitches were great. Now, I would buy all of those zines, but I also love zines. So y'all did good.
Now that we're page counts.
Oh no, there's another box in there.
I should have.
What? Those were the, when they have the hot sign, that's what's hot, is the. I know, I thought You do know that. You can't do that. You can't set me up and talk about something. Nope, too late. All right. Our very special guest, Joseph, actually interviews a lot of artists at cons. He's interviewed over 100 artists. We've had the pleasure of interviewing convention founders as well as librarians, and he asked me if I told you all about the zine trading culture, which I actually don't know that much about, but he knows a lot about because he's interviewed these people. Would you tell them?
Sure. So I talked to a bunch of old timer comics people who've been making minis and comics in general for like 25
Forever,
years at
yeah.
least. Yeah.
Since the 60s, if we're talking about Rich and Kathy.
Yeah. And really it seems, so specifically a lot of people at 8, which used to be Alternative Press Expo, I'm not
Now it's
sure
gone.
if it's
It's
still
dead.
going on. Yeah. People were kind of bemoaning that it had become a much more commercialized sort of thing. The first year we went to 8, probably 2014,
Yeah.
there was quite a few people with prints. I don't know if you're too familiar with prints, but it's just a large full-color poster reproduction of an original work,
Or fan
often
art.
digital.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it seemed to be people selling comics. But it wasn't too many like zine type things. It was mostly
Like perfect balance stuff, like this book over here. So it was very commercial, but it also had this air that if you table there, you can get discovered. And a lot of artists had success with getting their work picked up by comic publishing companies by tabling at 8. So we were really excited when we got in 2015.
So yeah, a lot of people, it seemed like there was good energy at the show. People were buying, people were running around talking to the creators of these things. It wasn't like just big name people who came there and everyone was buying from big name people. But the people who had been coming to the show for 16 plus years or however long, were saying like, oh, everyone used to show up and just sell stuff out of their backpacks. And like you got all your stuff ready the night before, and you went over to Kinko's, and you didn't tell them that you were going to print 200 copies. You told them you were going to print 10 copies, but who cares if you're stealing from Kinko's? Everybody did it. It's okay. And they would just say, the night before, basically, they Xeroxed all their pages. I'm sure they didn't have all this PageMaker or whatever it was then. They just kind of.
A lot of it was like, so you make a master, which if we had more time, I would have talked about it in class. A master is where you just make a physical version of your book where it's still folded in half and maybe you collage in elements, and then you go to a photocopier and you just photocopy that sucker and assemble as you go. And one of the reasons we didn't talk about making a master is not too many people seemed interested in doing collage zines in this class, so it's like, okay. But also because everyone I know who used to do it like that hated doing it like that because it's very prone to like you get duplicates of pages or you forget a page or pages are upside down. It's just a more complicated process than it needs to be. So imagine doing that shenanigans at a Kinko's at 2 in the morning and you're gonna go to a show and sell those books the next day.
Yeah. So basically, they were saying people would go there. They didn't even necessarily get a table. They would just like talk to all these other creators who were super into comics. There wasn't really a big comics industry at that time, so definitely not an independent comics industry, which has changed a
It's
decent
changed a
amount.
lot, yeah.
So they would just show up and basically end up just trading all these zines. Like they printed a bunch of copies partially because many of them were just stealing
Not
from
paid for
Kinko's,
those,
basically. And it's like, okay, well, I'll sell what I can, and the rest I'm just going to walk up to people and say, hey, I've got a cool comic, we'll trade, we'll talk about it a little bit. Maybe we'll see each other next year or see each other around town and we can talk about our cool comics or whatever. And they definitely said, they talked about it like they missed those days instead of having to create this very vertical setup, which is what almost everyone does now. And you have to have a table, you can't just sell out of your backpack.
You can still go to a show and trade with artists. If you guys ever see me at a show and you want to trade comics, I am always down to trade comics. Some artists are not, I am always down to trade comics.
But it used to be, going to these shows, it used to be a given that
You were going to trade.
you were going to trade comics with other artists. I think that there was more hope that you were outreaching to people outside the comics industry. So your sales would be to family or friends, and other artists would just trade amongst themselves. It wouldn't necessarily just be buying everything that everyone else produced. It's just like, oh, I have a new thing and you have a new thing, so let's just trade.
It's very, very different now. Like, I got into comics right as that was shifting.
Patreon and Kickstarter and everything.
No, it's just conventions are now very, to an extent, kind of cold, sterile, very professional things. A lot of the younger artists who are getting into tabling are kind of really standoffish to the other vendors. Like, it's a very, like, I look out for me and nobody else mentality, which I hope this class did not teach you guys that. I hope you leave with, like, a love of comics if you didn't have a love of comics, an appreciation for the art form, knowledge that, yeah, you can make comics, it's not actually that hard. And maybe some comic friends who, if you want to make comics, you can contact and be like, hey, so I'm going to do this zine. Do you want to help me out and do a couple of illustrations or something? That was like my big goal with this class, was to meet other people in Nashville who enjoy comics or want to get into comics. Because we've lived here for 5 years. I've done a lot of shows in this area. And I keep finding that there are people who make comics around here, but there isn't a comic scene. You know, like we don't have a restaurant or a bar or a coffee shop that we just meet up at and like talk about what we're working on, and there isn't necessarily like that solidarity. And then there isn't really much of a comics industry here in Nashville either, even though it's kind of a big city. So I thought maybe teaching a class with community ed, I could help bring people together and bridge that gap. So that was my hope for this.
So yeah, basically, I think those old-time people, they weren't necessarily looking to be discovered or anything like that when creating comics. I think that they were hoping to make some sort of living making comics, but it was really just about like, hey, let's have a good time, let's all come together, and instead of saying, let's put up a table and hope an editor will come by and we can pitch our wider project to them, it was just like, we're gonna hang out and probably there's alcohol involved.
Yeah.
Not necessarily at the convention, but after the
I don't know.
convention.
It depends on the show.
Maybe at the convention. Just have a good time and trade each other's comics, and it wasn't as much of like a stressful thing, and it wasn't a thing where you slaved to have your stuff ready
it was
right
super
before
low
the show.
key. It was people who kind of roll up in their pajamas, which like I have such mixed feelings about how it used to be and how it is now, because like I like the level of the professionalism. Like I like that people care enough that they come to the show clean and wearing clean clothes, and like they went to the effort of like presenting their books. Like they care that much. And I don't necessarily think cons should be like a big drinking activity, because like as I started getting in, I did this show in Athens, Fluke, and it was at a bar, and I saw some artists getting like, it was like 11 in the morning, just getting trashed because they had like a 3-for-1 deal if you were tabling at the show. 3-for-1. Yeah, I know. They were really trying to get people, like, I don't know what their end goal was. Right? But like, yeah, for your friends, I don't know. I don't know what the end goal with that was, but yeah, there was some really bad behavior that happened, like people's tables getting wrecked and people saying things they shouldn't say to each other. So like the drinking part of comics culture isn't really different. But I like the informality. So no pressure on you guys. But if you guys are interested in meeting up semi-regularly, bring in whatever comic projects you're working on, I can start a mailing list and we can do that. I'm going to be teaching this class next semester as well. Like I would like for this to kind of grow into like a nice little community kind of group. So if you're interested, email me after class and I'll add you to a mailing list and we'll get going on that. And if not, I'm still really grateful that y'all spent this 6 weeks with me. Like, thank you guys for putting up with me when I was sick and trying to roll through those presentations. Like, there's stuff we gotta cover. Well, if it's too fast, y'all can always come take another 6 weeks with me.
Visual artists,
They do a lot of work in hats. They pretty much hire directly.
I've enjoyed it. Which is good because there's some pretty cool parts, but it's hard for people to do.
I have 10. What's that?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I think it's
I have
a hat.
Around town, it's like just rely on it. Yeah, I think definitely like
And shirts.
Sell the.
Yeah, I know, I just.
Sell music, whether CDs, streaming,
This one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's a million.
Yeah.
Like
Like,
I
I
was
haven't
here.
seen them about. They might, I just haven't seen them.
They do like different stuff, like, my brother's in Chicago, he's got an actual thing for, they were putting on. That wasn't, just in town, I think it's open.
Do you want to know? I don't know the name of it. I got it at Hobby Lobby. And it's one of it's called, it's felt tip rich.
I know what you're doing.
Yeah, I got this other one, same color on that one.
Oh,
It's not water.
It's very,
It kind of bleeds.
but I love it.
But it's kind of like brush tip and there's like a fine tip underneath. So if you go to Hobby Lobby, it's like.
But I those paintings too.
Oh, really?
I grew up eating waffle and then like and it's flavor so like.
It'll be there
Great.
and
I don't know
they
what the
cost
menu
pretty
is.
good.
As you know.
Yeah. I was like so
I
tried, I really tried.
I would always ask.
I only have one place on it.
Like putting Copenhagen, they've
Done stuff, but nothing's ever gone.
But then I was in Canada.
Everything is done, stuff
And
like
they
that. So,
and I went to like a sandwich shop.
Okay, you can finish.
And I was like, oh, whatever.
Yeah, I thought it was
I was like,
pretty.
okay.
I'm keeping
And I was
notes.
like, oh, I know this. And then they started asking me questions. And I was
I
like,
felt so bad that I didn't have time.
this is out there.
Mermaids, well, murky.
but I was just like,
Your
A
layout.
lot of those are like made to do, and I just.
I just love it.
So that's
I thought it was very fun.
So much attention to the story. I guess
I
that's kind of a typical comic, comic artist.
I love the
approach for
Schrodinger's
action type.
What is
Like-
it?
Yeah, this kind of a layout would be typical.
Yes, no, it depends on the story. From what I
I
read,
donated a copy of
really big
everyone's
food
copies.
with artists. They approach comics like it's more of a movie, and they try to create stills on stage. And so they try to create tension and mood, atmosphere, and things of that nature. That's what,
Every
like,
time he hears someone like he said his name, he drew a little picture and a little so like they were like the same like 4 or 5 pictures. Like
Is that
like a house with smoke coming out of his face.
yeah, it is.
I was like,
Yeah, it didn't cut out. We got real happy with the end over it's nice. I decided to not really get into it.
Yeah.
Please take a look. Yeah. I can load you down if you want.
Sweet.
I brought them to share with you guys.
Very good, yeah.
I do.
I love that. That's like, it was kind of funny, but.
Oh, yeah.
Does anybody else feel ready to give a pitch? I saw that wind.
Shit, because I'm reading it right now. Otherwise, I'm not gonna read it.
You could pitch, look, you could pitch your mini or you could pitch these. You've already got some practice pitching these.
Pocket friends.
The name too. Oh, we got a pitch? We got a pitch? You gonna do it?
I'm trying to think of one for the mini.
Okay.
Why am I
I'm so nervous. I was literally in marketing business.
I'm so-
I don't know why.
You know, I always noticed
Disclaimer.
that I got more nervous
Something
when
to
it was
make you
something I actually knew about.
misspell.
That's why I say like it's easier for me to pitch my friends stuff than it is like so I have a friend that I do cons with and we'll trade tables because sometimes it's just easier to sell their stuff than it is to sell my own. And like people love buying hair from him. And I have this male friend, he's like 6 foot, fully bearded, like kind of a burly dude, super sweet. People love buying hair from him. Like at MTAC, the girls were like, he's cute, but he's not like hot, you know? So I'm like, what is this? Should I just hire a lumberjack to sell my comics? But it was because he didn't care. Like he cares his mind, but he's not. Whether they pay or not, it doesn't matter to him. So he's friendly with them regardless.
So it's not like he's emotionally attached.
Exactly. Yeah. Which is what I would recommend if someone's doing their first show. I would recommend bringing a friend. It helps for a million reasons. They can watch the tape while you go to the bathroom. They can make sure you actually eat something during the day. And like a lot of us are introverts or ambiverts, and we just hit like a level where we just can't anymore. And like he'll take over for me. Like if I'm doing MTAC hits that level fast because
I've been there before. I know. Okay, I want to ask. Were you there? 2016.
Yeah. I thought you looked familiar.
I think I've seen you before.
Did you go to? I went 2015, but we did some panels. We did intro to Artist Alley. I want to say a comic one, but it might have been an alcohol marker one and a watercolor panel.
I didn't go to any of the panels. I only went for Saturday.
Well, I was in the Artist Alley.
I think I've seen you in the Artist Alley. I recognized it only until now, and it hit me. I was like,
See, if I brought the full con table, it would have hit you too hard. You'd be like, oh no.
yeah,
That's right. Hi guys! How are you? How's MTAC going? I love your costume.
I wasn't cosplay though.
You were or you were not?
I was.
See, that makes it harder because like
I had longer hair, and I had a baby face.
as soon as people put the color contacts in, it's like you're a whole new person to me. Did you have the purple bit?
Oh, okay.
See, I had the.
I remember you go, and I told you how cute your costume was, and you felt like really bashful, which I know I come on really strong, so I understand.
That was such a good goodness, I don't even think I have that costume.
Why they just sold to nobody? Like they literally just sold to somebody.
Verb.
There we go.
It was Verb. Yeah, I keep track of what they do because I'm like an avid fan. They were with Federator. It's still produced by Federator, but it's licensed by Verb.
Because I didn't have my name.
So they got their season 2 episode.
Yeah.
But
I really mixed feelings about it. You know, and this is when everyone really cracks down on manga, SR, shoujo art. There's no place in the market for that. Learn how to draw like an American, like, and I just finished that scab really heavy-handed about actually never gonna get hired also. So I was really excited about the upcoming cast because it's like it's super cute, it's super girly, it's very shoujo, and like I want to make American shoujo for little girls. So I was really excited about it. And then it did a Kickstarter, it did really well, and then we just disappeared for a while.
It was.
And that's like, no, we need to like, so many people invested in it because they represented our dreams too. Oh wait, I don't know what that is.
I know the reason why. Since I was, I'm not just all the time. So it was, after they had gotten
Yeah, they went to like Japan and
they,
I have this in my hand.
they went with this group that's in Korea. I think
Yeah.
they made some universe. I think it's the same type of company that is like.
I mean, but it's not the same.
I'm not sure. I don't know the name, but they do the storyboards and everything, and they send it to Anime. We were supposed to send it there, so I think that's why it took so long. It was like 2 years long thing.
it wasn't just the length of time, it was like the lack of communication.
Yeah.
Was disappointing. And
Inappropriately.
I don't don't think you're old enough to remember like the Tessa Stone drama. Did you read Panda's Not a Boy's Name like a million years ago?
I don't think so. I think if you showed it to me, okay.
They got phone for his pop, but like this is pre-home stuff.
Okay, so it's like back in the
A million years ago.
Yeah.
They got so popular, and they did like a Kickstarter fake face. It was with Capo, something like that. They had like thousands of books, and they had it signed by hand, and Tessa Stone converted, so it just made us was too much. But the problem isn't that. The problem is and like you don't tell anyone, you have fans who legitimately hey, that's why. No, it's like Tessa Stone's sister, who was also an illustrator, eventually was like, no, we're okay. So it was kind of reminiscent of that, where like they get so popular, they just. Yeah, that's what I kind of agree with, like, after that was scary. Was like, are people being, that's another big topic too now, is like, it's like,
Too old.
yeah, stop.
Okay, I don't know why
This is
people
so beautiful.
hate on the
I don't know, I think it's because they're more expensive but yeah, you're always there, and you're expected to always be on, and always be kind, and really crazy people, and always respond, and yeah, like, you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, I think the table, like I don't think public health, I think the table for all of the like for art in college, I was just like art fans whenever your table. It's the story. They expect out every It's the same like what we you get a phone call from people, they expect you to give them everything. And it's just like, you are not my job.
First time.
Yes, it is, and I mean, it's, yeah, especially if you make your living through YouTube or media, or, which is part of my income, is like YouTube and Patreon. I'm definitely expected to be on all the time, which, I mean, I like people, but like, last night, and I just wanted to like shut it down, but I couldn't because I had things I had to do. And like you can't talk about that. Like I can't tweet about what had happened, partially because I'm involved in some of the companies, and partially because like that's just not professional. So like you can't even talk to people who know what you're going through unless you know them close enough to like text them.
I know that like sometimes people forget that content creators are people, and people don't understand the line specialism and
Yeah.
I don't know that the culture is being separated between who can make the content and the content that's important. Or they kind of put the artists as the face.
Yeah, that's part of it, yeah, you're part of the package.
Yeah, so that's disappointing because I remember back then it wasn't like that. At least when I was growing up, and it wasn't accessible to the point that it is now.
I have mixed feelings about it because to an extent, I think if you're doing stuff for younger readers, you do need to be somewhat of a role model. Just be nice to them, you know what I mean? Like, don't be mean to them. But like, the idea that you're part of the product is really
Those feel like executive your brand.
yeah.
Whenever you're consuming something, you're not just consuming the brand, you're consuming
Yeah.
the creator.
Yeah.
It all becomes like political, I think, and everything else becomes tied into it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, and then
for better or worse.
yeah, I think to like an extent, it's if you're consuming like celebrities, for example, like that is part of their brand. And when you go see their movies, you're supporting them. You can opt not to if you don't like who they are. But I think like when people start sending like death threats, that's like, whoa, but let's not do that.
Like, you don't like it.
Yeah, just don't consume. That's what I do. I don't like talk smack on Twitter about other artists because like this is a hard enough life. We don't need to be doing that. But like I'll just not buy their stuff. That's what I would like to do. Hang on just a second, I can't write this. I wanted to get the date in, because my brain was like, I also took the rap and we've tried to wait for a while because I do shows and like, let's do a con dinner. A bunch of people come and then and it's because a lot of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But I wanted to start with like people and open it up to the public because it's like here is like
Yeah.
will you read the this?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so they kind of curated it now.
Oh, yeah.
These suckers are, yeah.
Yeah, they are.
Something, 30 bucks.
But some of them, really curated to be like, you have to be creative and
Yeah. That's kind of the only requirement is like, don't make other people feel uncomfortable. And you're good, you're welcome. Please take one. That's what I brought it for.
So nice, lots of these, just like.
Yeah, of course.
Now, we would really love this, picture. This is really I mean, design inside,
Where
one of the favorites is.
I had to make her chairs that you put in. Talking about like
I have a pen.
Frankenstein as part of the is it like
It is more fantasy driven. I usually do fantasy. Very rarely do I do like modern setting. Just because it's a lot more harder to scouts.
Yeah.
so the fantasy is it like evilish or is it like futuristic or is it like steampunk?
So for this project, actually, I wanted
This
it
little
like
house in Prairie
modern
like
day-ish,
graphic
but
novel
I
ideas. Like if I love to read influence, but like if I could, it would be one of those two.
influence. There.
Like sort of like alternative
That
reality.
would be perfect for you.
What if
Oh, I would
they
love it so
had
much.
goblins running around?
Yeah, you got it. You got it.
Especially the Ramona Mazes where they
Makes
switch the
the
cat to
sci-fi
be cat food, so he eats the pumpkin
Very
instead.
familiar with all the fringes around sci-fi and fantasy.
I don't really catch a lot in sci-fi, but I like the genre. I just don't know anything
Oh, no problem.
about it to like find anything.
I'm really glad you took it. I know because like you came in kind of halfway through. I know it was like getting on a course that's already running, but you did really well. I don't know what you're
That's
about
great.
now joining this conversation.
Also, she has a story. Like,
And now you can
short
show your
stories
mom,
that
because I
be
know you
like-
told me that she was kind of like, you're doing what?
I know.
You can show her. Like, it doesn't have to be
Like,
as off the wall. I think,
short stories.
I'm gonna still use the word comics because that's what it is. But so many people have like
Like,
different
each regarded
idea
something about
than
it.
what it can be. It can be anything, which is what's so wonderful about
He
it.
wrote what became the Northern Report, what became Blade Runner, what became,
Yeah.
and then there's Amy McLeod. It's more like Golden Age. It's good. Ian Foster actually wrote a sci-fi short story that was basically a fiction of human
Yeah.
and like delivery culture. China Mills.
Yeah.
It's pretty big. It's actually like this radical communist who writes really good sci-fi.
You should have made him come take the class.
There's a book called Red Planets, which is all about communism and science fiction. Which I read, which is very good. Western on like sci-fi and communist theory.
I can understand that. I had to pick a time where like most of my dating
I
was
think
done,
he's
so I
all
could
out
be
there.
conscious
It wasn't.
and not like
Because like
bringing
I don't
out
think
that
it's
bag of
edited
sugar.
really
So I
like
made
realize all the time. But like they say Snow Crash predicted like speed parents and things like that. And some of his other books have predicted parents like or forced
Well, NCE has all kinds of cool stuff.
Stanley
Like, he was
Robbins.
taking the fencing class,
Like
and
it's
they,
world
for
building.
beginner, they provide all the equipment, which I think is really cool.
Ursula K. Le
And they have a guitar class, which
I-
is always
I
the same
did
time as my class, so I
Why?
can take it. And they have, like an acrylic class and a petals class, and they have watercolor class. I would be taking that.
So
Um,
my asterisk for every set of
Yeah.
is that they all
And then there's like a leather, like a purse
that are
making
very
class,
good.
like leather
They
purses.
all have
Next
lesson on work.
is like
The
next
quality of
semester
which
coming up,
varies.
which is cool. And they have a
Because
podcast
they gotta eat.
class, which is also
Okay?
in my class.
Like Ursula K.
Otherwise,
Le
everything-
Guin, A Pin of Darkness, that is a
Oh, that's what's up.
masterpiece. Some of her other books,
I'd love to recommend you to the, I take a lot of courses in the Holly program.
Yeah.
Veteran,
you know.
How do you
Then
like it?
except
Event both, same thing.
So,
Like,
like,
you teach their books,
all-
and I'm like, this is
Oh,
terrible.
it's just like me, I don't know
Like
if you
the-
enjoy working with the
I
60s.
like working with anybody who's interested in learning about something. Like I teach little bitty kids, I teach adults, like as long as you like
This
it.
is all lifelong learners.
They're
It's
all well, like Ursula K. Le Guin.
There's a lot of it.
But like, you can tell which ones. I feel like she's just being checked for. It's like with actors when they have a lot of crappy movies, and you're just like, well, the story isn't here. And that's like the same thing.
Oh, that's so cool.
I've not taken it. I've taken it.
On the side?
History and literature, and climate change. But I don't know, actually, no, I don't know, actually.
Original
Office. I think that has a city soul or lecture like there, except for the Veteran where
Yeah.
there's some parts. Because I don't think they're, set up to teach people this art. At least I've never seen it like this.
I can look into it. March 19th is my birthday.
March 19th.
Yes, sir.
I know it's for like 100 days.
No. If you want to, great.
What's there in mind?
It has to be March.
Sorry, you're gonna get through this research.
Oh, I did. So you're talking about
So it's called lifelong learning.
August is a good month.
No, she
I
instructor.
wish I would.
Takes a lot of classes. She knows her like me, but it's really fun. Retired.
Wonderful mistake if you, let me guess.
Last time I
You did
took
something
top
and
five
you're like, I
dollars.
should have done it
I
differently.
can enjoy it.
But it's too late, it's in print. It's done. Better not
Law
expect.
school, no, like this,
Art arts and science.
And see, I was so proud because the
Refugee law,
layout system I used
expertise in Canadian.
So the fact that it laid out, I was like, oh, and it's backwards.
He's having.
Oh.
steps
People in
and
that class.
it's
So I'm thinking,
Was it really? Yeah.
And then like, it's kind of like,
4 or 5.
like it needs some, tweaking.
Okay, so Becca, I don't know, they're really set up to do art classes because they don't, they struggle to find space.
But it looked like we needed to take some stories like this and like, and then I screwed up.
Reasons we're here is daughter just got their names.
You took this course, and I think you're really going to get used to it over time. Because like we have very different
Anybody
in
also,
the comics industry, and that's like, oh,
what do you want to do? That's my PhD program. So,
I've done a lot of kid stuff,
Yeah.
which is what I like to do. I like making comics for kids. I kind of feel like the comics industry can survive.
well, sort of related.
That's like the inspiration. We're training them to love comics. So love
Try to go
comics.
into, that's not that kind of nursing, psychiatric, which relates to.
Thank you.
A lot of folks are back
But you did though, like, even if you couldn't read, you wanted to. Facial expressions.
Ask questions.
Yes.
Voice.
You know she was in your class.
Yeah, especially this one.
I really feel like it's a very non-literate people from other language backgrounds. You can still get the.
Yes.
Good. Well, so I think like,
I think it is red.
Very different. But you took something from it anyway.
So I only read like the notes.
That's just like place the
Dinosaurs and
lines in
feathers
there,
and
like a
pages, like,
like in a focus, all that book, then like a gap.
It's like the
Right.
Like, do you know the story about Sindak? So this little boy, such a fan of his books, he wrote a letter.
No,
And something about the letter just really confused Sindak. So he wrote something back and he got a picture. And the little boy's mom writes in apologizing because he loves so much. Right? And Maurice Sindak is too hard to go perfect compliment for him because he got that. So that's the best compliment. There's no better compliment. Which I should have said. He wanted it to be part of him. Yeah.
Like, that to me is like, yeah, I guess it's like, it's get something.
Yeah.
It's so plain, it's sort of.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like everything back there on, it's like a drawing,
Good. Good. Yeah. Like I thank you.
Yeah, it's not you experience, you
Yeah.
understand.
There was like a connection there, or something I did and something you did meshed in this like.
And like, that's the one thing I always, like, when I first started, I wanted to create like this kind of.
Yeah.
My first, before it was an experience, I experienced something kind of thing, like, they don't even show us that. I was like, I want to be that somebody later on, but it's like, it's so awesome.
Because I didn't see anything on this.
I had this experience with this comic, this is like, this is the issue, I'm like, wow.
Are you doing cons though?
Not yet.
Come on, come on.
This is like, a step towards.
I know, you're very last, but the entry level.
This is on the list.
There's, okay, so if your
I don't know
goal
what
isn't to
I'm
meet
doing.
editors, there's a lot of good little shows in this area. There's a lot of library shows which cost like nothing to people at. And you can have these really genuine experiences with the people there because it's such a small thing. And they're all there because they love books and they really love comics. Like I did Imagine in Gallatin. And it was super tiny, but I sold like 150 boxes of books, and I had a lot of really good conversations. And some of those parents like found me at other shows that asked me the second book's coming out, and like I got to do a workshop with their kids, so I get to talk to their kids about the comics they're making. So like if it's about like the genuine human experiences, there's a lot of little shows around here which are good for that. And tech, if you like the anime crowd, if you sell TV, it's good. It's actually good to me that I'm like rapidly. But like ambient bound, it's free with tech. I think it might even be like $100 to pay for, which is not right. The only downside is it's outside. But I paid like 500 for that weekend, and it was two people who genuinely love books. And it was a lot of families who just, they heard there was an event about books, and they came out and brought their kids. So it's like a low risk opportunity. And I know there's really good content to come out. Like I even asked, I was like, so can I tell comic people at the table? And it's like, yeah, please do. They want to move forward and expand stories. So it's just,
I do not work.
I used to work at Sienna.
If y'all are cool with it, I'll come out one day. And we can just plan on continuing to populate the Making Comic Authors Lab like high school. I know like information and links and stuff, it's just easy for me to just share. If people are interested, they have to see it. But yeah, just to make it. Oh, no problem.
And it is super boring at parts. Like, I would say all of things. That second book is super boring. But it is like that, but it is very...
Yeah, we about that. It's interesting
in that
because
it includes
right now we're
everything.
at
So it's it's like
in a good way is, you know how like dogs will sometimes sleep in a safe? So it's both your safe space and it's your protected space. So you're protected, you have a cage between you and the animals, and there's a big space behind you, so it's just a yard. So in that way, it's a very safe space, but you have a
Yes,
home.
straight
But
forward.
you
That's
have
like
like a very spacious personality. I started off kind of shy, but I think you've got a lot to give, and I think you have a good personality, and for people in general, and for crowds. So the only downside I would say is you're probably gonna get burnt out, maybe during your day, so you would need someone to kind of scout in.
I'd say these are not just for
That's so hard to do because right now, our stuff is so small and they have like
Also, it's like
I think you'd be a great fit, but I'm also like trying to head this way for a while because I don't know what I'm gonna do. Hey, what?
a lot of West Coast is like the best.
Louisiana?
They know all that.
Wow, you came all right. I was bad. I only had a cup of coffee. I did not eat. I had a microwave rice bowl. What drink? I was thinking about doing the money class just because I want to finish mine. Maybe we'll read it halfway through so that it would give me the time to work on it. I mean, I've never been to South. I mean, that's just enough for me to go.
Discipline, structure.
It's important, yeah. Because I like fireworks.
I like outside stuff.
That's Christmas is a good one. Yeah, you could just draw.
Oh, maybe I'll think about it.
What's your favorite song by Love?
Which I obviously with my art, I'm not good. I would do a better job. I mean, there's so many different types of artists. I just know I would sell it.
It's also slightly
But if we're ever at the same show,
she tried.
obviously you should let me know. But like, pieces, right? So if you need someone to like singles, braids, so like that would be not my job, you know? Yeah, I know. I feel like if I ever I need to get your bag back.
No, you can have it.
Are you sure?
No, I'm good, you can have it.
Thank you very much. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you. Well, thank you guys so much for attending and for so much work in. I'm so impressed. I'm very, that's so
Get as seriously.
Are you sure?
It's very because it is just like the most popular. It's not my favorite, the most popular genre.
Thank you. Oh, good.
I will. Ask her
Just like,
see if,
yeah,
Tyler, he did that at least 2 hours before something. He's got time for a
She does.
her friends or something.
I'll be here next semester if they want to make it.
All right, thank you.
So, yeah, I finished.
Oh, before I lose too many more of you, give me a second. I'm gonna start a mailing list of comic people who would like to stay in contact and might be interested in meeting up. I'll probably arrange it through meetup later. Send me an email if you want to be added to that list because I don't want to just assume, you know. So if you'd like to be added to like a continuing comic artist, illustrator, or whatever list, let me know. I'm happy to add you.
Can I make a quick little announcement?
Yeah, what?
I work for a garden education nonprofit, and we're actually having a fundraiser at Farm Burger, which is like 2 minutes away. And all the proceeds, we get 10% of it. So if you're hungry and you want a burger, come over there.
Is it ongoing or a
That was a
specific
good
day?
announcement.
Huh?
Is it ongoing or a specific day?
Right now. Right now.
Just running, oh, just tonight?
Right now, yeah.
Oh,
Pretty good.
It was ongoing for a few weeks.
Nice to meet you all.
It's nice to meet you too. Thank you
so much
for all your hard work. I'm glad.
Did you have 2 M&Ms?
I did. I had 2 M&Ms.
You can have it.
Thank you.
again.
No problem.
So much. Forward. So like this time when I should do this and wrong.
I wish we had more time because we could really talk about that. Yeah, please do. Yeah, actually, hey, y'all are totally welcome to leave me one. Leave me one. But otherwise, thank you. No problem. Because I forgot. Feel free to keep. No, but they're so gorgeous. I mean, I will. They're gonna end up in his cube. I'm gonna make him put them up. Okay, look at it. Pocket friends.
Thank you once again.
Bye. All right, bye. See y'all. Bye, guys. Hey, you need to. Did you talk to your Spanish teacher about your zine? Good. What?
We haven't had class for the last 3 weeks.
Okay.
Same for Thanksgiving.
If you think she'll be interested, I'll send all of the files. I mentioned it in the email. The only reason I have it is because it's just not necessarily convenient for all. But if they want it, let me know.
Thanks, Becca.
No problem, Zach. We did